This is Irontrader, and this is the last call of the day. So first of all, we'll take a look here at the indexes, then we'll take a look at crude oil, WTI and Brent, natural gas, and then we're going to look at some retail trades, which their earnings are going to be coming out here this week. Now, tomorrow we have Home Depot, and that's going to be before. On Wednesday, we have Lowe's, we have Target, and on Thursday, we have Walmart. So we're going to take a look at all of those. Okay, at the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted for crude and natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy selling stock. My TDF. If you like to subscribe, thanks for watching. Alrighty, here we have the old crude ski, okay? WTI, and we have Brent. Now, yesterday I took a trade here in the UCO, and I'm still long the UCO. Now I always go into the weekend flat because you just never know. 2 weeks ago, T-Man said that there was a deal going on there, and crude dropped right on off. So I just kind of say flat. But remember, on UCO or if you trade on for Brent there, you can buy these Sunday night at 8 o'clock. Okay, so I bought the UCO yesterday at 8 o'clock. And you can trade these here 24/6 all the way till 5 o'clock, or 8 o'clock at night on Friday. Okay, so always remember that here. Just protect your money. That's the key. Now here on the upside here, what we're looking for is we're looking right here where we make a high there today, like at 84.88 level. Okay, so what we look at here, 84.88. Yeah, 84.88. Okay, so what we're looking at right here, we're looking for that 84.61. Okay, that was the key. Now your next level is going to be right here, 85.57, and then we have 85.94, and then right on top of that candle, 86.87. But right here is your big target is 88.55. Now when you look at this here, we have a left shoulder, we have a head, we have a right shoulder. So we do have an inverse head and shoulders pattern. We had this downtrending action here going here, and I can see where that's kind of broken through here, and we have this sideways consolidation. So again, your big target 88.54. Now we crack above that 93.50. That's going to be your target. Now we start rolling against that. We got 93.64. We have up here 95.47. We have a target all the way up there at that 97 level. Now remember, the SPR here in the U.S. is getting really drained down here. We're down to 1983 levels here, below 300 million barrels, and that's really what you call not good. Okay, so again, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be affecting it, not just the war that is really unsolved situation. Okay, so here's what we got here on the downside. This is what you need to hold here is that 82.60. And then we have that 8-day at 81.45. Now you can see here how nice it held it. Friday it held it. And look at today, right down to it. What a beautiful situation. And then all the way on up here. Okay, so 81.45, 44 is next. And then we'll come right to the bottom of this candle here at 87.71 here. We'll come to the bottom there at 80.09. And then we have your 50-day sitting at 79.39. And then we can venture right down to the bottom here, 77.79, then 76.90, and retest 74.24 level. Okay, but right now here, this looks like it just wants to go higher. But remember, we are rated here in this resistance area. Okay, so just always take that in consideration here, this 85.03 level. Very strong resistance. But once we crack above it, this is going to be your next big target right there at 88, 86.87, and then 88.54 as your 100-day. Now, this is 55, plenty of room to run here. Sideways action, green over red. This is looking very good. Now, here's the way I trade. This is with BNO. I bought that here this morning. This is looking very good here. Okay, so downside, this is what you're watching is that 21-day 88.06, and then we have that 8-day sitting right there at 87.17 level. Then we come down to the bottom here where you have 86.44, and then down there 85.87 level. Then we come down to your 50 SMA here, 83.84. 81.62 is your 200-day, and then 78.13. Now, those are all your downside levels. But you can see here how we're holding that 8-day. Now, that 8-day is curling up. If it crosses that 21-day, you're going to push that price right up to that 100-day very easily. Okay, so just watch that key 21-day and this 8-day when the futures open here at 6 o'clock tonight. Now, here on the upside, you can see where we tag this on 91.19 level here. Okay, so all we do is look right to the left of the chart here, 91.43. That's your next level. Right up here, 91.97, and then we'll be looking for this 93.21. That's your 100-day. That's going to be a big target. Then we can go right here to this gap fill right here at that 95.14. Now we start cracking above that. You're going to this 102 level. Very easy. Now, if we start getting above this 102 level, that's going to be big time trouble here, because then what do we got here? See right there, 103.28 level. Okay, then we'll come up there to the bottom there, 103.86, and then we start rolling here. Okay, 106 level. We have 109 level, and then we can venture up here, 112, and we have a big retest there at 115 and then 119 level. Now, I'm not saying that's where it's going to go. Remember, this is all news related. Okay, now 56. plenty of room to run. This here looking very, very good. This is looking like it just wants to go higher kind of a situation. So right now I'm long and I'm holding the long here, and I'm going to see exactly if we can hold this 21 day, hold that 21 day. We'll see what the futures when they open at 6 p.m. are tonight. Okay, let's take a look here now at natural gas. Okay, here we have natural gas, okay, right here, that's the daily chart, and UNG, this is how I trade it. It's a really, really easy way to trade. Now you can see here, you look at the charts here, they're pretty much the same. You look at the RSI, pretty much the same kind of a situation, and your MACD, okay? So it's really like a one-to-one relation, but this is a really easy way to trade it. That's why I want to give you a little showing on that, okay? So now you can see we have this bottoming tail kind of a situation. So what we're looking for on the upside is looking for that 2.72, and then we're looking for 2.76. So over here, what we're looking for is looking for that 993, and then we're looking for 1007. Okay, that's what you're looking there on the upside. Now, if we start cracking above that, this is the candle that we're looking for here is 283. Okay, so then we just look over here. What are we looking for there? You're looking at 1030. Okay. Then we're going to be looking here for this gap fill. You're looking at that roughly 286 level, okay? And then we look for this gap fill right here. You're looking at a 1082, and then we're looking for this 292, and we're going to be looking for this area right up here at that 1082, and your 50-day here, and your 100 SMA here on your UNG, okay? So right here, very, very easy, very, very good trade here. But see, this is what I was trying to say is pointing out that 261. Now we've made it down here, down to 263 level, okay? So very, very good. So what do we have here? You have 263, okay? So 2.635, what do we have here? 2.638, okay? See that? Always look to the left of the chart. Look how nice that is, okay? She's a beauty. But if you're trading these ETF, these rebalance here at the end of the day. So I always want to make sure that you don't really want to chart or have this. Yeah, you can put this up on a chart like I have it right here, but you always want to trade off the actual commodity no matter what kind of ETF you have. That's why I want to put these side by side to give you a pretty good example here where they are, they're very similar, okay, but they're not exact. So you always want to put this one right here. Okay, so now where we're looking here on the downside, you got 269 here. Your next level is 266. That retest at 263 and then 261 level all the way down there. Now, if we start losing that situation, we have a big retest down here, all the way down here at 249. Okay, but right now here, this is looking good for a nice good scalp. And this is what I'm going to be watching when those futures open is 272 there, and I'm going to be watching 276. Now, UNG, that's another one here where you can trade that, 24/6. It works out very, very nice. And if you're on the short side, you can do KOLD, okay? Now, again, just for here, watch that key 8 SMA and watch that 21 day. Then we have that nice gap at 283. We have that fill at 280.85, and then we have that 290T to 2. That's going to be very, very strong resistance because we want to look at what we did in the past. If we get above it, we have that nice 50-day. Then we have the retest there at roughly 3, okay? Then what we can do is we have a nice good pop-up where you could go all the way up to that 324 level and maybe even up to that 335 and maybe even get all the way up to this 338 level. But it's got to get started somewhere, and this here looks pretty good. So I was pointing out this morning, if you watch that video, watch that 261 retest. As long as we're holding this, we're good. If not, we could come down to that 249 very easy. Now, we're only sitting at 40, but we do have positive divergence. See how we have a low, higher low, low, and a lower low. So we do have the positive divergence looking very, very good. So you can see the positive divergence, same thing here. Low, higher low, low, lower low, okay? Now, again, got to hold that 261, but upside here, we want to do this. Now, remember, this is just a trade. We're below all the simple moving averages. This is not a buy and hold. Unless we start ripping through that 8-day and that 21-day. Once we start getting rolling, then we have a nice good, before we fill this gap right there, we have a nice good shot at the 100-day and a good shot at the 50-day. Once we get above that, we're looking very, very good to retest that 200 SMA here. Okay, let's take a look here now at some retail trades. We're going to be looking here, first of all, at the Home Depot. Okay, here we have Home Depot. Now, remember, this week here is going to be really, really important on the information because this is your consumer, okay? Are the consumers spending, okay? So I'm going to look at Home Depot and then Lowe's and then Target and then Walmart. So this is going to be a really, really good factor going forward kind of a situation. The Fed's going to be watching this whole situation here also, okay? So just always remember that. Now, Home Depot here, we hit that 397. Then she just sold right off here. But again, we have a nice good situation here. We had left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder, and it ran right on up here. But you notice how we double topped, okay? So what we did is we hit this high of that 358.85. We retested it with 358.36. See this? Beautiful, beautiful double top situation and take it right on down. So when you see that, you want to make sure that you, unless you close back above the top of that candle, you want to either short it or get the hell out of the trade because this is going down lower, and which is exactly what it is. Now you can see here we have this indecision candle, so we have to see what happens in the morning. Now, this is what we're watching on the upside, 338.23. That's your 50-day. Your next level is 340.49. Then we have your 8-day at 346. And then we're going to come down here at 346.85. Then we can start marching up here. We had 353. Then we're going to be looking for that 358 level, okay? That's going to be very, very key, okay? Now, I don't know how far it's going to run, but obviously if you break this level, then all we do is look right to the left of the chart here. And what do you see? Okay, we have 361 level. We'll bring that price channel right across. 369. Bring it right across here. We have 382. And then we just look right to the left of the chart here. We have 390, 392 roughly. And it would come up here 394 and then retest 397. That's the beauty of these blue lines here. That's all it is price channels. So as this is stair stepping down, it leaves the other side there all resistant levels as you keep it on going up, and all your resistance and upside targets. Really, really handy kind of a situation. Okay, so let's look at the downside here. What you're really watching now is going to be looking like today's low, 332.89. Then we'll be watching right here, that 330.82 level. That's going to be very, very key. Now we start losing that here. We come right to the bottom of that candle, 328 level, and then we're going to retest that 323. Now, if we start losing that, we do the same thing here, okay? So you got 321, and we come right across here, bring it right across here. What do you got? 318, and then we come down to the bottom there. You got 307, and we have a retest at 289. So we got to see what all the numbers are. Now, 46, this is not overbought, oversold. I don't like that where that green crossed over your head because now it shows momentum to the downside, and that's what you have. But the numbers tomorrow are going to be a tail. But if you look at this, we have a low, then we have a higher low, we have a higher low. So we are uptrending situation kind of, in a situation. But again, it's all going to be on what's exactly going to be happening there tomorrow. Now, when we look at the weekly chart, you can see we are downtrending. See, we have a high up here, lower high, and lower high. And we're pretty much stuck against all these key levels here, okay? So on the downside here, you're watching that 331 level, okay? So which lines up pretty, very nice here with that 330.82, okay? That's going to be very, very key. So you do have two good support levels. On the upside, you got that 342 level. So if we can start cracking above right here, that 338, and right here, that 340 level, then we're going to start running right into this 8-day here, and then we have this 200-day sitting at 349. Okay, so that's going to be right above this level. So you have a lot of resistance, and then right above that, you got 354. Then we can start going all the way up to that 370 level. Okay, so again, there's a lot of resistance going here on both of these charts. This is still looking good. This is looking good. But the key is what is going to be not just the news tomorrow, what the earnings are be, but it's going to be that guidance going forward. What are they going to say going forward? That's going to be the big key. Okay, let's take a look here now at Lowe's. Okay, here we have Lowe's. Now, their earnings are coming out on Wednesday. Okay, so this is actually here. You can see here how we have a downtrending situation going on here on the daily chart. Now, let's just take a look at some of the past earnings. Here's one earnings here. It came down, popped right on up here, right into the 8-day, and then sold right on off. This was the earnings before that came up here, and then it sold right on off. Now, this earnings here, about 3 times ago, well, that rallied up here nicely. So it's not really giving you a whole big of a tail situation. Now, you can see here today came ran down, but what did it do? Look at that, how nice it held that 21-day. 213.57, that's what we're watching. Next level there is going to be 211 area. We come down here at that 206 area. Then we come down at that 201, and then we have that 199 level, okay? So again, there isn't really a whole lot of support here. So even when you look at a weekly chart, you're still below all your simple moving averages, so there isn't really a whole lot. Now, there's a whole lot here going on the upside here. You got 215 right there. But right here, we're watching this 50-day at 215. So this 8-day and this 50-day line up very, very nicely. Now, we start getting above that. We have this rate 218 level. Then we have 222, okay? We get above that. What do we got up here? You got 223 level. And then we come up here at that 230 level. Then we have your 50-day up here at 239, and we have your 100-day all the way at 242. So there's a lot of resistance that you have to get through. It's going to take a big catalyst to pop through all of that kind of a situation, okay? So right now what you're watching right here. You're trading against this 213, okay? And then we're looking right here on the upside, 215, 218, we have right here at that 223. But somehow, if we could kind of break above that and we hit this 230 level, well, we got right above that. We got this 237. Okay, so that would be your big target here if we get some kind of a catalyst where we would break right on up. Now, this here 49, that's an bar sold. This looks like it's rolling over. This is still looking good, and this is looking good. But again, this is not something I would take into the earnings. I'd wait for the shakeout kind of a situation. And especially on now, the consumer just looks and sounds like they're just not spending kind of a situation. At least they're not out here like on the home good products. And another thing about it is a lot of the prices here have gone just sky high. So a lot of people are just kind of holding back. All right, let's take a look here now at Target. Okay, now here we have Target. Now Target's been doing really, really good. Now remember, one thing about it is if you go like things slow down like a recession, a lot of people will shop at Target. Okay, and because what it is like an upscale from Walmart. I mean, Walmart is probably in the same category as as Kmart used to be. Okay, now if you really want a good laugh, go to Walmart after 7 o'clock at night. Good God, who the hell wears pajamas, okay, and slippers to go shopping here? But just you will get yourself a good laugh if you go to Walmart at night. But Target is a little bit different. Now, Target has really got their act together. They got that new CEO in there. And what he's doing, he's selling a lot of stuff here because he's bringing these prices down. He's having good sales. He's doing everything on that order. So this is looking good. And you can see here, look at the stock at $83. And now you're sitting at 152. Okay, so you can see the uptrending situation. Again, bottom left here, upper right. Look how nice this is going. So what we're going to be looking here for on the downside is you're going to be looking for this 8-day at 152.18. Okay, then we lose that. You got a 150.32 level. Then we come down here to this 146 level. We come down here to that 141, and then we can track down to that 138. The retest is 132, and then we have 131 if this thing comes all the way down. But you can see here how nice this is holding all the way on up here. Now we're really just hugging that 8-day, which is looking very good. Now here on the upside, this is what you're going to be watching there, 154.89 and then 156.47. So we got to see how that shakes. Now again, if we can crack above that 156.47 here, what we want to do is just look right to the left of the chart here. That's very, very key. So what do you got? You got 158 is your 42 is your target. Next target is going to be 161. We bring this price channel right across here, 167, and then we can march it all the way up here at 173. Now this is going to be strong because we bring this line right across here. You can see how strong and how many times that it hit it, and hit it. But if you break through this key level right here, this coming right across here, so I'll just take that right there. Okay, if you break through this level right here, okay, that 170 level, you crack above that, you got some really nice targets all the way up here. Okay, at that 254 level and big retest back at that 268. Okay, now what I do like about here on a weekly basis is look at here, this 8-day. Look how nice that followed. And then I always call the 21-day to catch all. And the reason I do it is right here. We lost the 8-day, where to come? Right down to the 21 to catch all. Right down 21 catch all. Right down to the catch all. And now she's just zooming right back up. Now, we are getting away from that 8-day simple moving average. And a lot of times it wants to pull right back to it. Okay, so anytime it gets out of that picture, it wants to come right back to it. Okay, now here's an example where it got up here to the high and then came right on down. Then it consolidated, came right on down. Got up high, came right on down. Okay, so watch that here. This is the key level is 142.82. You have 133, and then we have that 131. So this 21-day, cross the 50-day, cross the 100-day, now cross the 200-day. So again, if this pulls back, look at here how many times this 21-day has held it. Doesn't say it's not going to hold it again if it comes right on up. Now, when you look at this chart here, we got to an overbought condition here. This is kind of the same way, and we're just hanging at overbought. You can see the strength in this stock going right on up here. Look at here. We're pretty much at the top. So you got to be a little bit careful with what we're doing here because I said we have a good uptrending situation, but just watch that news, okay? So two key levels you want to watch, 152 on the downside, 156.47 on the upside. If we crack that, we got that 170 mark right in there. All right, let's take a look here now at Walmart, which their earnings are coming out here on Thursday. Okay, now here we have Walmart. Now Walmart, all people always say, oh yeah, it's just in that. Walmart really is not that inexpensive. Okay, they're not what you call cheap when they're busy. Now, I'm a what they call a shopper, and I go a lot of times like the Sam's, okay, which is owned by Walmart there. Okay, that's a good shopping thing. But I tell you what, really one of my favorite is Aldi's. Now, Aldi's is getting the kind of food that I like to eat, the grass-fed beef here. They're getting a lot of organic products in there, and it's really good, but their prices are really a whole lot better. At least I can say that they're trying kind of a situation. So I always get the idea of Aldi's first, and then if I can't find it there, then I can go to Walmart kind of a situation. So we'll look at the past earnings here. Okay, so you can see where it popped right up here. Nice, good, right up here. Now, this here earnings fell right down situation. And this is their last earnings. You can see it was up here, and she just cratered right on down here. And we just have this downtrending situation. So I don't know. It's not really much of a tell. But if you go by the last earnings here, they weren't really that good like what you're kind of thinking. Now, it's all going to be about what this consumer is going to be doing, what they're going to be buying here, okay? So right now what we're doing is you can see where it came right down to this 8-day. This is your support level, 113.87, okay? We lose that, you're going to come right to this 112.23. Then we have come down here. You got the 110 area. We have the 108 area. And then we can retest this at that 106, okay? Now, we always want to watch that 112, which lines up very nice with that 112 because this is the 8-day. We want to make sure we hold that. Otherwise, we come at that 106, and then we come down to that 104 level very, very easy kind of a situation, okay? Now, here on the upside, you can see we're cut right between that 8-day and that 50-day. This is the key, is 114.42 level. That's going to be very key, and then 116.26. Now, if you can start getting above it, we have 118, that's your 200-day. Next level is going to be 119, and then we have the 120 level here, okay, all the way up there. Now, if we can get above all of this here, okay, we get above that 120 level. This is what I want to point out here. See the top of this candle? That's 125.80. That's your gap. Okay, that's what it could run right onto. And if it starts filling that gap, then we look to the bottom of here at 130.33. That's your gap fill. Then we can run all the way up to that 135. Now, for me, I am long Target. I think Target is got their act together. So I say I would take Target into the earnings. Walmart, I'd have to wait and see. And like Home Depot and Lowe's, I would wait and see on that just to see how the earnings and everything shaking out here. Now, I'm not saying Walmart, Target, or Lowe's or Home Depot couldn't have blowout numbers there kind of situation. But if Target comes down, I think Target is a good buying opportunity here versus what the rest of these are here. So we have to see going into this time frame. Now, when you look at Walmart, here you got 52. This here is looking good. This is at the bottom here. This is good. So this could very, very well surprise you very, very nicely. And it could go right on up here. But again, watch that 50-day. That's going to be very, very key. Watch this 50-day right here. Then once you get above it, you have the 118, the 119, the 120. But once we crack above that 120, yeah, we have resistance here, no question. But I'd be looking for that gap fill all the way there at that 125.80 level, and then maybe that fill at 130 level, and then maybe the retest at 135.16 here. So we got to see how this all going to be shaken out here after the earnings. But what I don't like about it is this last earnings here, where it just came right on down here. That's not really, really what you really want to see. Okay, let's take a look here at the indexes. Okay, here we have the indexes here. Okay, we got the Dow, the S&P, and the old Nasdaq. Now, the market was doing here pretty good here. Now, again, we have to watch is turnaround Tuesday. Now, for me, the trade today was SpaceX. Okay, and what I've been trading here is SPCU. Okay, that got as low as $12 and got as high as $13.74. But at 12 bucks there, you know what I'm saying? Now I bumped it up there to 7,000 shares there that I'm just trading just of that. And I also trade the SpaceX there, but I'm just more like a buy and hold on the SpaceX and just trading the SPXU. Now, NVIDIA was also a very good trade today. Oil was a good trade today. Goldman Sachs was a good trade. So always look for opportunity. Gold was actually good today. Silver was actually really good today. The SLV, really, really good trading in that. Okay, so always look for opportunity. Now, you can see here we had that topping tail there. It got all the way to 54.744. Then we have the sideway consolidation, but now we're back below that 8-day. But that doesn't mean we're not going to get turned around Tuesday and come right back up again. So 53.815 is what you're looking for. Next level, 54.222. And then we come up there, retest 54.7044. We crack that, you're going to 55,000. Downside here, what we're doing is we're looking for this gap fill, okay, at 53.230. And then we're looking for the 21-day. We look for the 50-day, we look for the retest, the 100-day, and the 200-day. But when you look at this chart here, overall, we're holding everything. We lost the 21-day here. Where'd it come? Right down to the 50-day. Okay, so you got to respect it. If it does come down an area, who says it's not going to hold it again? Okay, very, very key. Now this here at 55, this is rolling over here. So you got to be really kind of a patience with this situation. Now, this here never got to an overbought condition. This is still looking okay, and we have this sideways consolidation, and we are holding this key 8 SMA here on the S&P. Look at that right there, okay? 77.55. Now, if we lose it, we come down to the bottom there, 77.17. We have 76.98. Then I'd be looking for this gap here. Look at the bottom of that candle, 76.29, and then the top of there, 76.10, your gap fill. And then we look right here, 75.93. Then we have your 50-day, obviously. You have your 100-day, we have your retest, and then we have your 200-day all the way down there. But right now, we're holding it here, and we have that sideways consolidation. Now, on the upside, well, we're going to be right there. Okay, 77.93 and then 78.16. We crack that. Then I think what you're going to do, you start heading right towards that 8,000 mark kind of a situation. Okay, now NASDAQ. Well, NASDAQ still overall is the only one that hasn't broken out, but we are holding that key 8 SMA here, and we have this sideways consolidation. So just watch that 8-day, 26,610. Come down here. Okay, we got 26,372, and then we want to watch this gap right here. Okay, 26,088, and then we want to fill 25,967. And then we'll be running right here to the 21-day and the 50-day, roughly 25,887 level. We lose that, you got your 100-day retest, and then your 200 SMA. Now, this here is not overbought or sold. The same thing here. This is looking pretty good here, but it just looks like it's kind of like I don't know, it's just like a lagger. It just doesn't seem to want to go good. Now, again, if we can crack above that key, 26,875 level, then what we do is we're going to be looking right here, looking at 26,923, and then right there, 27,190. That's the key. We crack that, you're going to go towards that 28,000 mark. So again, remember, one day does not make a market, but we do have consolidation there. We have consolidation here, and we have consolidation there. This one looks the worst of them all, but the rest of these here are looking good because we're holding that key 8 SMA here. Okay. All right, we got a lot of earnings there this week here. So just remember, you got Home Depot before, Lowe's there on Wednesday, Target on Wednesday, and Walmart on Thursday. And that's going to be a market mover because that's going to show what is the consumer actually doing. All right, I'll be back tomorrow morning. We'll do it all over again. Trade what's in front of you, not what you want.